and a grin. Steve and Alan diving in again. Almost daily, but always sharp. He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Steve and Alan, almost daily. Laughs and facts, served out plainly. Your dose of wit, it's never shady. Steve and Alan, almost daily.
Hello and welcome to Stephen Allen Almost Daily. I'm Stephen Allen. It's a day. What more do you want? We'll be going through the news. Again, for people who've just tuned in for the first time, because I'm working my backside off plugging this everywhere. Hello. You may all be thinking, what's this guy going to do? Going to go through the papers. That's that. If you would like to get involved and you're watching the live stream on YouTube, well, you can get yourself into the comment section. There it is. More from that in a second. Also, if you're doing the audio-only version on the podcast, thank you for subscribing to that. But you really missed a trick there. You could have been doing some of the chat. Let's see who's in there already. Proper Memes is here. Straight away with the thing that I'm not sure I can say, although we've got a few topics that are close. We've got, so look, Chris is here. Chris Hood's in the room. Ems has turned up. Hello, Ems calls. Charlotte's here, even though she was meant to be working. A client cancelled. I gleaned that much from the chat. So it's good that you're not having to multitask, I suppose. You actually pay attention. And are we fully up to date? Oh, it was Chris who cancelled by the looks of it. More fool you. Get in the chat. Say hello if you're there. We start off with the front pages, meanwhile, and jingle.
Here are today's front pages.
I should say right out the traps. I've already covered the newspaper front pages for today because last night I was working on the newspaper review show on GB News. I think I came up with some bits that were all right. Can't remember them now because I had one of those days where I got home at like 3:30 because I did the late night show as well. And then I had to be up at 6 looking after the kids. I'm in a state, man. Oh, man. This is going to be like a Friday I've barely prepared show. So if you do get confused by the day, you'll be like, it feels like it should be a Friday today. Steve's really not with it. That'll be why. But we start off with The Times. I even tweeted about this. That's a weird... Oh, I see. It's in colour now. We get black and white versions when we do the newspapers because they print them off on the black and white printer. I was vilified misogyny at Oxford Union, but you can tell it's in different colours. It looked like it was the same colour when I read it last night. I was like, I was vilified misogyny. Why would you... You've embodied... I wouldn't talk about it in the Times. Fresh deal to avert doctor strike. I went in on that one last night. Good. No, this seems like a good thing. I'd love the idea of having a doctor around. I live near a hospital. How annoying would that be if I have, keep having to pull out the way because ambulances go by, and the one time I need it, they're on strike? Nah, mate. Earliest proof of humans making fire found in UK. We invented fire before the French, who thought they invented the fire. But we're talking like hundreds of thousands of years. We were really early adopters. It's standard, though, isn't it? The UK has invented so much that the world uses. The TV, the internet. That's what I can think of right now. Penicillin. I get through a lot of that. So we've made many good things. Football. There we go. Football and fire. We invented it first, and then other people probably did better things with it. The trains, same thing. We invent it. We're too early adopters, if anything. That's why everyone else has probably got nicer fires than we have. Actually, it's a true thing, isn't it? That we as a nation became slightly obsessed with open fires, and that's why we had worse air quality for a while. The rest of the world were like, yeah, this coal's all right, but why don't you just put like anything? I don't need to see it. And we breathed in all the particulate matter instead. Well, quick break for a question. Charlotte's a serious question for you, Steve. What can I wear tonight for a comedy club? It depends. Well, I think you're fine with whatever you go for. You don't want anything that pulls focus too much. I'll give you that much. So it depends. If you're sitting on the front row and you go low cleave, yes, you will get talked to. So if that's what you're into, I don't know, if you'd like to have that attention. Let's have a look. Well, that discussion will continue in a bit. Let's get back on this bad boy. We've done the Times, haven't we? I'm all over the shop today. Get ready for Steve being all over the shop. There we go. Daily Mail, how party season can give you cheese face, sugar face, or wine face, or all three. I would say if someone uses those as a nickname, you're not in a very healthy relationship. The all right, cheese face, it's not a pet name. It's a fine line between a pet name and an abusive spouse. Just saying. Just saying. Quick word on this. DiCaprio's ex, dazzling new night manager star. Firstly, I didn't realise they were making another night manager. All right, that's like one of the last TV things I got around to watching. Also, wow, don't even include her name, who she dated and what her next job is. She's defined by her ex and probably who else she'll be working with. UK set to turn back clock on Brexit, says the iPaper, and rejoin the EU student exchange scheme from January 2027. I talked about this last night. This was never the thing that people were upset about by Brexit, was it? There was never anyone who was... There was never a speech by Nigel Farage saying, and we need to make sure that these students aren't going over there and learning French. They think they invented fire, but they didn't. But I think even more important, look at this story up here. In the life section, in the eye. Jabby Christmas. I lost 4 stone on Wegovy, but can't eat, drink, and be merry. You look like you weren't going to do one of those a lot before. I don't want to judge, but I think I found Wally. If you've ever wondered, where's Wally? Found it. And I'm not saying that because he looks like the character. I just think he looks like a bit of a Wally. So there we go. We're up to date. The Telegraph goes with Falklands arms ban must end, says Millet. This is that they want to buy arms from us while still saying they'd quite like to take the Falklands back. Just can we sell them blanks? It feels like it would be prudent to only sell blanks at this time. Otherwise, then again, Keir Starmer's probably thinking, do you know what really does for prime ministers when they're having a bad time? A big old war really impresses things. He's going to start getting a bit tasty, isn't he? Trying to have some fights out there. Champ Luke's £50 a week pocket money. But the reason I'll pop this story in there, darts ace Luke Littler is so grounded he only gets £50 a week pocket money. But the first time I read that, I stressed one of the words differently. In my head, I was like, he's so grounded. He only gets £50 a week. Wow. What did he do that his mum and dad were like, you go to your room and you're only getting £50 a week. Go up there and play darts. I don't know, but it seems like it's worth it. Revealed Britain's racist system of stripping citizenship. Oh, it is a tricky one, as we found out last night. I know I've talked about this, but I just want to mention it again. It's the dumbest report ever. They found that it's a 2-tier practice, that removing people's citizenship is you're 12 times more likely to impact people of colour. That sentence again, it's 12 times more likely to impact people who can have their citizenship stripped because they have some sort of legacy right to another citizenship. How would they could be that blind? There's plenty of things in this world to find actually racist without trying to look at this one. You know that thing where you can get rid of someone's citizenship from the UK because they have a dual passport? Seems to be impacting people with non-white heritage. No, or at least other heritage. Wow. Okay. And yet somehow on social media that's been one of the controversial things I've said. Some people have been upset. But look at it, you fools. They cannot be trusted with Brexit, says Daily Express. But also, and this is the important one. Well, yeah, we talked Brexit last night. Today's show is more of this one, isn't it? Eating dark chocolate could help delay aging. And you know what? That woman's 72. I might try some of that. It's going all right, isn't it? And finally, for the front pages, The Guardian. Visitors to the US could have to reveal 5 years of social media activity. I was trying to write this for my Substack. I'll try and get it finished later today. Substack.com/@Mr. Stephen Allen. I don't like it. Don't like it at all because, come on. If it is a case of Donald Trump not wanting to let people in who've said mean things, who didn't enjoy a Stormy Daniels joke at the time? Come on, mushrooms is a joke in there. And she's literally an adult mattress actress. And she's called Stormy. You know, there's been times when weather conditions, for some reason, that was the perfect storm. Well, you know, I bet he left her a review. But I'm just saying, if you're not allowed in because you did a joke about Donald Trump, he has half the blame because he maybe slept with someone called Stormy Daniels. It's the first time anyone paid an actress like that to keep their mouth shut. You know what I mean? It's not my fault. You write the jokes for me. So, into some of the comments before we move on. Where do we get to? Serious questions. I don't know what to wear. Something. I think you got to be comfortable. You got to be comfortable. It depends who's on as well, doesn't it? But if you want to be able to laugh, you need everything to be held in. Nothing if the club is in Orpington, says Proper Means. That's true. Are you going to the nudist place in Orpington for your laughs? Well, I tell you what, you would laugh. There's much to titter at. Oh, no, don't. Emsicles says, just take a tea towel along. What, for one of these? Like the other show when I was a bit stressed. Sit in the comedy club like that. Nothing else, just that. It's one way to do it, isn't it? Martin says, the jet engine, Frank Whittle, almost literally gave it away to the Americans. We just give, don't we? We give. The fire, football, the jet engine, television, penicillin, the internet. There's another one. Kind of Mother of Parliaments, whatever it's called. Kind of democracy. I'm nervous. It's the introvert in me is coming out. Yeah, you won't want to do that. Your introvert wants us to stay in, if I were you, Charlotte. Does that mean I've got gin face? Maybe. That's normally mascara running down crying about your husband. Are you doing that? Is that what you're doing? Proper Memes. Oh, Charlotte says to Proper Memes, it's not Orpington, it's Covent Garden. Oh, which one are you going to in Covent Garden? What day is it? Is it the Comedy Carnival one? Is it a Thursday? I sometimes get booked on that one. You found a wally. Certain have, Martin. Thank you. Not the first time we spot one of those in the news. When Millet talks about arms bans, does he mean the hand of God? Exactly, football. Another reason we should not let them have any arms. Yeah, I don't trust him with that. Joodles is here. Sorry I'm late. It's disgraceful. Where's the note from your doctors? Charlotte says, okay, pass me the Bourneville then. It's not a bait. Yeah, but it's got to be dark chocolate. Opens up a £4 bar of Bourneville. All right, everyone's eating chocolate during the show. What about if eating dark chocolate gives you the choc face? Don't do that. I mean, Trudeau just about got away with it. But I wouldn't. Good evening. Where do we get to? All right, that's all the front pages and the comments done. Let's get inside the news.
Let's get inside the news.
I should say some of your tweets on the way as well. We'll go back to that page. In fact, I'll load it up ready so it looks more professional. But I'll mention it right now so it's less professional. Loads to get through in the news today. We start with maybe this story. Interesting one here that Nigel Farage has received a surprise endorsement from Bonnie Blue. And it is surprising, I suppose, because I didn't think they'd agree politically, especially when it comes to migration. Because if ever there's someone who I thought would have been in favour of the idea of thousands of fighting-age men coming, it would have been the... What, sorry? I think I may have misunderstood that story now. But, yep. The infamous 26-year-old recently arrested in Bali wrote in political magazine The Spectator. I bet she thought that was a different booking when they said, would you write something for The Spectator? All right, then. I like to watch... Oh, no. I think I misunderstood that story. She said that she backed his views on inheritance tax and immigration. I stand with Nigel Farage. I bet he'd love it. By the way, she's also in the news in a different bit. Blues green. Blues. Blue, what? Bluey, what? There she is. Not quite enough space. Adult star Bonnie Blue arrives in green for questioning by Bali cops. I can't help thinking that when they said they needed to address her legal briefs, I think I misunderstood that story. And that's all of those jokes done. Where do we get to? Oh, look at this one. Taxidermy and furry toilet seats are among the biggest holiday home turn-offs, says Booking.com. And whenever I do late night gigs in London, staying over to do TV stuff the next morning, I go to Booking.com, and you've heard about some of the places I've stayed. The least of my worries are furry toilet seats. Although, again, this might be one of those cases where we do need an Oxford comma. If it were a taxidermy and furry toilet seat, you get there, the toilet seat is furry, and there's a stuffed ostrich on it or something. I agree. I wouldn't like to, lay cable in that situation. I think that's what they're saying. The holiday site revealed the best and worst interior design decisions with outdated features like ceiling mirrors. Yeah. Yeah, you know the kind of place that's not an outdated feature, is it? Oh, this place is so outdated. Yeah. You know what they're doing there? They're discussing migration with Nigel Farage, apparently. Interesting one, isn't it? We'll do some comments in a sec. No U16 ban on socials. Almost understood that one. Ministers will keep an eye. Will be keeping a close eye on Australia's social media ban for under 16s, Lisa Nandy said. It's interesting over there. That's it. Under 16s can't have social media at all. Of course they'll find a way around it, but they're not meant to. It makes it slightly easier. If someone says they're an underage person from Australia, you know it's some old bloke trying to pretend. So that's easier to not be catfished like that ever again. But it will lead to a weird situation where for the World Cup, like the only people who'll be able to go and watch football will be underage Aussies. And I'm not sure they often support England as a team. They might do. Who knows? Yeah. The one people who won't get caught up in Donald Trump wanting to read your tweets, them. I'm not in favour. Not in favour of. I've said some stuff. It's not even the stuff I've said about him. They're just collecting data. 5 years of tweets plus all your business emails or whatever. It's just data scraping, isn't it? How are we falling to this? Right, what's happening over here? Martin says it reflects poorly on the establishment. Mirrored ceiling. Nice. It depends where... Well, let's not go into that, is it? John's here. John's here, everybody. Says Chris. And very good, Martin. Joodle's enjoying that. Oh, Martin's living it up. He does one joke. Joodle says, oh my Christ, furry toilet seats. Why do they exist? I've never seen them, right? So I presumed it's just the lid part. It's not the actual seat, is it? Do they do furry toilet seats? Because you want to clean that. I've ranted recently about how toilet seats are obviously cleaner than everything else because you bleach them. You can't bleach a furry. That's, again, an odd sentence. Is it just the seat or is it the lid? And also, while I'm here, put the lid down. There you go. You know the cliche of like, oh, men leave the toilet seat up. Yeah, well, you leave the lid up as well. Everyone needs to put something down. That's how you make this life fair. The seat goes down, the lid goes down. Firstly, it's got a lid. So put the flipping thing down. The reason toilets have lids is so you don't drop stuff down them. I say this as someone, as a teen, I once dropped a digital watch down a toilet. And since then, put the lid down. And there was, oh yeah, that's the other thing. That way we all have to touch the thing and lift it. Because no one likes to have to lift the seat because you're touching there. If everyone has to touch some part of the toilet, I think we can all have a great time. Are we all sort of there? Joodle says, yes, put the lid down or you get poo on your toothbrush. That's a weird threat. That I mean, well done if you could follow through on that. I'm not sure how you would. Now I've imagined it being like when the toothpaste comes out. Do you have stripes on the side of your... Well... I feel like I've misunderstood this story. One joke, scroll back, so, oh, hang on. Has he done more jokes? Which one are we doing here? Where do we get to? Orpington, there we go. Millet, what are we looking for? Opens 4 bands of chocolate. Nope, still looking at the one. It's a role-play session. Says, well, we're talking about Reeves. Proper meme says Reeves. Oh, there's a lot of E's in that sentence, isn't there? Still got the better of Bonnie Blue after she... almost 70 million people in the last budget. It'd be great if they give her the title. The world record one. I think you're up to date, aren't we? You're pretending you've done more jokes than I have. No, you've done one. You've done more jokes than I have. Follow through on that. The toothbrush, says Martin. All right. Flushing aerosolizes the contents and it ends up on your toothbrush. A harder threat as well. I would find it easier to do it rather than try and aerosolize one. But what do you have to do? Sneeze while you're doing it? Is that how you... Oh, weird. This story. Covered this one slightly last night, and it's going to be on the radio show, so I apologise, but it's just funny. The first aircraft built and designed in Britain in over 30 years is lined up for use as airport taxi service in 2028. This is good news because we invented fire and then since then it's all been downhill. But we're making this aeroplane. It's going to be used. And TV presenter Claudia Winkleman, this is yesterday's paper, I've thrown this in from there, was at an event in Canary Wharf to launch it. And I still think it remains true. If you're letting anyone fly an aeroplane taxi, Don't have it being Claudia Winkleman. Just pick any of the other celebrities that don't have the fringe covering their eyes. It's the one person who shouldn't be in charge of flying stuff. You could have picked Stevie Wonder, and below Stevie Wonder, then you've got Winkleman, then you've got Gabrielle, then, you know what I mean? People are idiots. John's here. He says, do they log the concerns? I love it. I always think, we could do a highbrow one. I got a story about Rachel Reeves. We'll go highbrow today. Of course not. Half an hour on Bonnie Blue, which is more than enough for more than enough for anyone. Good evening. Good. Now, I'm not rich at all. I'm so short. I had to go up on her. What do we get to? Let's do Rachel Reeves. The old Rachel Reeves. Reeves, too many leaks over budget. Rachel Reeves has accepted that there were too many leaks ahead of a Grinch budget. No. She's accepted that the leakiest budget ever, like literally a Titanic of months, this might happen, leaks aplenty, leaks akimbo, and then on the day of the budget, it was leaked. The fact that you even have to ask the question, was there enough leaks? I think it was fully leaked. It was fully leaked is what it is. But also, in fact, let's get rid of the graphic on this one. Also, I was on the old telebox last night, and there was a clip of Rachel Reeves talking about, well, she's basically throwing Keir Starmer under the bus by saying, hey, it's not just me that came up with this nightmare. It was him too. Here's the clip.
There is a very close partnership between myself and the Prime Minister, and so we took him through all of these, all of the numbers and all of the options, and we decided it together as a team because that is what the Prime Minister and I am.
That we decided it as a team because that is what the Prime Minister and I am.
Don't you mean...
That's not right, is it? We decided it as a team because that is what the Prime Minister and I is. No, she's got me confused. What? You don't say him and me am a team. Has she had a hit on the head? Is she a pirate? I be a team, I be. Her grammar's all over the shop. This is a woman who, she can't tell the difference between a singular and a plural, and she's in charge of numbers. What's happening there? You say, you're a team, we're a team. It's a plural. I understand in the sentence the word team can be acting as a singular, but to describe the people in it, you've got two people. You've just listed two people. Count for the love of all that is holy. So I am worried. That's what's happening there. She doesn't know how. I tell you what's happened. For those who don't instinctively know subjective versus objective pronouns. I hate to talk about pronouns because you know what people are like these days, but actual pronouns, I and me. That's when people say, what are your pronouns? Your pronouns are I and me from your point of view. From other people's point of view, it would be you. Or it could be thou. If you want to be all weird about it, you could also, my pronouns could be thou. And for some people who obsess about pronouns, I don't think sounding weird is their biggest problem. And then third person ones, then you can get into something to have a row about. But to work out whether it should be the Prime Minister and me or the Prime Minister and I, you need to work out how you're acting in that sentence. The trick, as I'm sure we all know, they say is to take the other person out and then just say the sentence. I am or it's me. And she forgot to put him back in. That's what she did. Take him out. The I am a team. The Prime Minister and I am a team. Thank you. Good night. That's all I have to say.
Don't you mean...
Not sure she did. You're thoroughly up to date on that. Let's get some more comments going through. Are I a team? Says Martin. It's a good question. Are you? And by you, I'm using the singular you, or am I? Or am me? Let's have a look. Charlotte's done one that's funny. Highbrow, but you can't tell us because you can't tell us because of the fringe. Everyone's doing good ones. All right. It's no need to give too much credit. Why does every newsline sound like my past customers? What was I missed which one it was. What being leaky? You clip. Yep. There is no I in team. Good point. Proper memes. How did she not work that one out? And a team is, but the Prime Minister and her are. Is they? Leak-proof budget 2026, sponsored by Tenner Lady. And I tell you what, I bet she's got barely a tenner. This is the best section of the show ever, says Yoodles. We've got a jingle for it when we go into one on grammar. Right, we're up to date. Good evening. Two stories on this one, actually. Let's go big. Because there's this part of the story. Pamela Anderson, tricky, had an intimate week with co-star Liam Neeson. She has confirmed and saw him chase off a bear in his dressing gown. Is that a euphemism? I think there's a strong chance. Because she famously now, we have it in this story here, doesn't like doing personal grooming. So when she says he chased off a bear in his dressing gown, does she not have hers on? I'll get rid of this grizzly. I'm not saying she doesn't trim. I'm saying that when he first saw her naked, he had to try and remember if you meant to play dead or make yourself as big as possible. I think it's that one. I think if ever you see her bare, try and make yourself as big as possible. That also works as a different joke because the word bear, doesn't it? Wish I'd have thought of that earlier. I mean, how are they not still dating? You're with Liam Neeson and he chased off a bear. Surely that's got to crank a bit of life into the old over, hasn't it? No, I don't understand women. But that story here about Pamela no-slap success. Pamela Anderson says her decision to axe makeup has been a surprise hit with mums. Why is it that much of a surprise? But she says that going slap-free on the red carpet is a good example to young women. Thank heavens you're a good example to young women. I've often said that about you, mainly about the sex tape thing. We're very different, aren't we? But there we go. I was an impressionable teen when that came out. By impressionable, I don't mean the Ronnie Corbett one. I did. That's how I was an impressionable teen. Oh dear. I had a partner who wanted to, experiment with doing it with different people. And I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. How about Terry Wogan? How the old political voting, Oof, play dead, says Joodles. You wouldn't know what to do. What's the old thing about try and run? You can't outrun a bear. You don't need to. I just need to outrun you. So that's why they always do a threesome with Pamela. Nearly spat out my tea, says Charlotte. Or which one? Knobs, beans, and growlers again, says Joodles. Well, now we know your 3 words. You don't want to break up with Liam Neeson because he will find you. I'll work on my old Liam Neeson impression. I could do one of those. One of his particular set of skills, presumably, tackling the bear. And PM take a bow. All right, everyone's doing all right today, aren't they? Where's the flipping love for Steve? I have a very specific set of skills, says Kermit, and I will not be giving anyone the choice between me and a bear. I will find it. I will chase it away in my dressing gown. I don't know who you are. That's what I say on all spam calls. I think, we've got a couple of... there's this story to finish from the newspapers. Bless it, but this cat. Thousands donated for statue of station cat Nala. More than $4,000 has been raised for a bronze statue. I've not checked the price of bronze recently. Maybe they're guessing more than anything else. A GoFundMe campaign is started after this cat, who, look, used to sit on the train station in Stevenage. Well, look at this. It was in the Metro and it says, love to nestle on the pile of Metros at Stevenage Station. No, it didn't. I used Stevenage Station. I never saw the cat on the Metros. It was always sat by the ticket barriers. But okay, the Metro, making sure you're in the story. Also, you're not that popular. There's always one left. There's always a big pile of Metros left at Stevenage, so stop trying to inveigle your way into my station. Nala the cat was truly a little star of Stevenage. It's a low bar, isn't it? The town's mayor... Oh, we've got a mayor, have we? Okay. Do you know that? You live and learn, don't you? I just think it's impressive that this cat, many people have walked past it on the train station and they will give money on a charitable thing to raise a statue for it. I also go through Stevenage Station. I guarantee you, if I died, there's no crowdfunder for me. I'll mention Kofi in a bit, but I'm not willing to follow through on all of the actions for it. But that cat gets $4,000. Needless to say, I have not achieved the same in my Kofi. More on that in a bit. Martin says, Metro editor, make it more about us. Yeah, there's a dead cat, but is there a Metro angle? It kind of sounds like they should stop using toxic ink. This cat died age 6. You read the way they wrote it, it does, here we are. The way they wrote it, it would sit on a pile of Metros, died age 6. Wow. Was it licking the front page and just carked it? Cats aren't meant to die at age 6. Whereas this is a cat that's its favourite pastime was going to a train station that has 5 train tracks going through it. Oh no, it didn't last past 6. 1 year for every platform there is, and then an extra one. It did all right, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Proper meme says ginger growler, but he does most days. Mr. Cuff's here. Just saying, John. All right, you have a chat. Brown bread, eat what he is. How long until that's sold for scrap? I'm glad you know what Stevenage is like. Yeah, not long. Not long at all. Sitting on a pile of Metros, says Charlotte, sounds uncomfortable. I don't know. I think the cushioning is it's a soft paper, but it is quite a sticky ink, isn't it? I think if you sit there, you will have a mirror image of a Sudoku on your bottom when you leave, which actually, not necessarily a bad thing. Joodle says, have they found Nala's mum to give the money to? Why was she homeless in the first place? No, it wasn't homeless. It had a family and would just nip down the train station and just sit there while you're going through, beep, just sitting on the number of times I've gone through the ticket barriers and not clocked that the cat was there until the last minute. It's something you're like, yeah, everything looks absolutely normal. Put the thing on, yeah, there's a cat. Metro also has very toxic content. Yep, not just the reverse Sudoku. Have you ever done a reverse Sudoku on someone's bottom? Well, then don't judge. Depending on where you put it, it looks like there's a 0 already in the board, and you're not meant to use that number, are you? I'm not having... Oh, I can't read that. Good, put some spaces. I'm not having a mini Metro. It's my eyesight. I'm getting old. Perfect. All right, everyone's doing the cat puns in the comments. I think we're pretty much sorted out here. Let's have a look. Yep. Oh, more of your messages. You can track me down on social media at Mr. Stephen Allen. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, yeah, this was a story which I wanted to bring up. Toffee Crisps and Blue Ribboned can't be called chocolates anymore because they've changed the recipe and now there's less chocolate in them. They've also done this apparently with white chocolate digestives. They've now stopped putting chocolate in, so now they're just white digestives, which seems like there's going to be some online backlash about that. But thank you to LBC, back on LBC, for the tweet saying, strong reaction here. Let's click on the thing. So this is literally the story. Toffee Crisps aren't chocolate anymore. And the thing is, no one will give a... They'll get away with it. This country is cooked, as they say. It's a biscuit. It's a chocolate bar, pal. You could calm down. We're quickly becoming a new USA in every single way. First, they came for the Toffee Crisps, and I said nothing, because no one likes a Toffee Crisp. Although back LBC, back in LDAB, whatever it is, said, should we be worried chocolates not... should be worded chocolate, not chocolates. Chocolate, not chocolates. Blue band ribboned, I'm having a day, is a chocolate biscuit. A Toffee Crisp is a chocolate bar. Chocolates would be like small individual things found inside a box. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Because there was never a bit in Forrest Gump where it was like, Mama used to say life is like a box of chocolates. They're all Toffee Crisps. It would have made as much sense as the other one. Proper Meme sent me a tweet yesterday, and this is great. Can you actually see the video up on here? Wowzers. This, I think it plays again. This is a plane just landing on a car. The plane crashes into traffic during emergency landing on Florida Interstate 95. Look at it. Here it comes. Wow, the number of times I've said, this guy's right up my backside. Flipping was. You don't expect that. But you're right, Ryanair won't even bother using airports now. They land you there and you get a connecting bus. Not even to Florida. Dashka, look at that. Imagine seeing that in front of you. It's amazing that, yeah, I think I'd have stopped more quickly than that, if I'd have seen that. Have we got some more? Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, this story as well. The pensioner who was fined £250 for littering after he spat out a leaf that was blown into his mouth. And we didn't think it was true. We looked into it. It's an actual true story. He's walking there. It's a bit windy. You know what it's been like with all the storms. Storm Bram, Storm E. Daniels. She was well known for blowing... What was I saying? No, sorry, I think I've misunderstood that story. But he was walking along and a leaf... And he go... Littering. How about you find the tree? It feels like the tree did more of it than this poor guy. So now the deal is, if you're walking down the street and a leaf goes in, it's got to chew it. It's got to... You don't want to pay 250 quid. It's got to put whatever in there. Which is weird, because ordinarily I would have been in favour of a ban on spitting. But yeah, I've already did enough Pamela jokes. And Martin sent this one on Bluesky. Bluesky, the social media. You like the social media? Follow me on Bluesky. Elton cleans oven from the Daily Mail. Here's the thing. Apparently the story is I'm still scrubbing. Elton cleans his oven. How do we zoom in on this? I don't think we do. Okay. If Elton John came at you wearing those marigolds, would your mind first of all been like, I bet we're going to go and clean the oven now? You know what I mean? Because they've got the frilly bit around the bottom. You don't clean in the ones with the frilly bit around the bottom, do you? That's for, well, anyway. Sadly, we've run out of time. Anything finally happening on there? Ems says, get off the metro now. That's one for the northerners. Oh, okay. And digestives, because they're just coloured. Pedantic grammar says, we've had a twofer on pedantic grammar today. Forrest Gump lost that little card inside that tells what each one is. Yeah. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. They literally have it written, don't they? Good point. Well made. But life is like a box of chocolates. You will come across a couple of nutty ones or something. Spit it or leave it, says Proper Memes. Eats, shoots and leaves, says Mr. Cove. That's Mr. Cove's three words. And Charlotte's customer again. Hey, steady on, boy. Judging by the lockdown performance, I'm still crub. That was so good. Oh, I wish I'd have seen that cover. We would have had the clip. It's almost like Elton John was being paid by the consonant or something. He's like, no, you're just getting vowels. The leaf fella was in Middlesbrough, Ems. 250 quid then. Because I thought it was quite expensive to be fined 250 quid because you spat a leaf out. But I didn't realise if he's in Middlesbrough, they took his house away? Oh, no, that's not right, is it? He was 86. I believe he is your elder. He's at 86 in Middlesbrough. He must have been a great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. So at least there were some people to club around and pull their benefits to pay for the thing. Think of me tonight in the comedy club. I hope I'm not in the front row. Yeah, it's difficult to know what... You don't want to be first in, but you don't want to be last in. You've got to be in the middle of... If you're first in, people say, if you could start Philip from the front, because no one likes... Everyone thinks they want to sit at the back, right? And then everyone has a worse time. As a comedian, I will tell you, when you get on stage, if there's one or two empty rows and then everyone's packed up at the back, it's a worse gig. Because everyone individually thinks, I'd rather not be at the front, so I'd rather we all have a worse time. But if everyone sits at the front, everyone has a great time apart from the one person who gets picked on. It's the throwing yourself on a hand grenade. Are you willing to do it? Let's find out. Must have been a huge house, says Chris Hood. Well, yeah. Well, he needed it for all the great-great-great-great-great-great-grandkids who probably live there. I sub to your cam stream, says... hang on, how are other people getting more subscribers than me on this? Right next to the radioactive seals, probably. That's, yeah. No wonder that model left him. And I think we're up to date. Thank you for all of your comments. Oh, I didn't load an advert in. Oh, we do actually have an advert for this. So, here's an advert which Proper Memes has AI-ified. Hopefully you remember the original, but if not, we'll be back after these messages. Hello? Yep, no, I know. I said I'd get you the money, and I'm trying. Or just things have been a bit tight recently. Well, I'm now live streaming on YouTube, so no, of course I'm not monetized. No, I get money by people donating tips to things like kofi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen, or they can subscribe to substack.com at Mr. Stephen Allen. Yeah. Well, obviously I'm not making a lot that way. It will take me a while to pay off the debt, that's all. Oh, right. Oh, so you're going to break my fingers so I never play the piano again? Well, joke's on you. I play the harmonica. It's gone. Flipping HMRC. Oh, no audio. I turned the thing off. I muted it. Oh, nuts. Because I didn't want to cough in the background of the advert. And I've just done some gold. Oh. It's a shame you'll never get that back again. It was, we'll never manage to recreate the improv that I landed so good there. Hang on, this is a bit. No, it wasn't a bit. I wish it was a bit. I was about to say the same. He's running tech today. Yep, we forget Lewis. I bumped into Lewis at the Triggernometry Christmas party last night. We didn't even talk about that. Oh, my days. There were some celebs there. I know. What's his name? Richard Starkey, where his name is. That guy was there. There was the Burble Singh lady. She was there. She's very tall. Very, normally you meet people and you think like, aren't they shorter in real life? She's very tall. Very tall. I approve. Kevin Spacey was there. That's the end of that story. I went to Have you been to a party with Kevin Spacey? Well, no, I have. And just the fact that I didn't actually talk to him, which therefore nullifies the whole story, still doesn't mean it's not a better story than yours. Because did you go to a party with Kevin Spacey? Did I? Yes. Did either one of us talk to Kevin Spacey? No. But you're asking the wrong questions. Did you go to a party with Kevin Spacey? Are you now of the level where you go to a party with Kevin Spacey and end up sitting in the corner talking to Louis Schaefer instead? But, again, you're asking the wrong questions. Did you go to a party with... you make good Simpsons characters. That was a good one, yeah. It was a fun night. I like one of those. It was like one of those old silent movies. But I was already... I knew this was coming because of your internet. Yeah, I did ask, did I get to the end? Honestly, I said, I read your thing out and said, do I get to the end of the show with everything running smoothly? I've had 2 hours sleep. The biggest, devil ever, the biggest trick, isn't it? The biggest trick the devil ever pulled was that Steve went to a party with a Kevin Spacey. Yeah. You would have done, wouldn't you? This is why it was good that I don't drink anymore. I would have, in the old days, gone over there and just tried to, I'd have sprinkled red rose petals all over him. I'd have tried to, if you give him a dead leg on the way out, he'd be like, oh, why'd you do that? And he just would have done the walk where he goes from the limp to nothing. And this is why I don't go and talk to Kevin Spacey. There are worse things I could have said, I suppose. I wouldn't have done any reference from K-Pax, though. Yeah. Should have been a better film than it was. So, what's M's done that's funny? Did you go to Argentina with Queen, though? No, good point, well made. When it comes to bringing up irrelevance, at least I do it jokingly. That was one of my favourite things from last night. We were talking about Argentina. I was semi-joking about being on War Watch, because if you're on GB News, you kind of think you're always slightly on War Watch. They've got the jingles ready to go. I'm sat here, I've got pedantic grammar and science corner and... Right, that's there. And let's be honest, it's less likely we'll get aliens than we will go to war. But I don't have a war jingle because I'm not, if war breaks out during this, I think we just probably stop doing it. Whereas on GB News, that would be ratings time, right? So we're all talking about Argentina wanting to buy arms from us and what they're going to do. And then Nina Mishkov just said, have any of you actually ever been? Because we were talking about their attitudes or something. And I felt a little bit schooled, like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm making judgments about a nation. I've never been there. And then she told the story of how she went over there, like, on support with Queen. And at the end, I just said, do you think maybe you didn't have the most representative trip? Don't school me for not knowing what it's like. I don't think you know I don't know what it's like to travel with Freddie Mercury, but I imagine there were a lot of those marigold gloves with the frilly bits on the bottom, and that was it. That's not what life in Argentina is like. People, they have a lot of shoes, but they don't have a lot of other things. I think that's what we're talking about. And the mute button, it's off now, isn't it? I've also not spoken to Kevin Spacey. Thank you. Well, yeah, we've got a lot in common in this chat section. Most of us have not talked. He didn't want me turning up there, did he? My years of being able to chat to Kevin Spacey would not. They're gone. They're gone. I wouldn't waste his afternoon. Jason Statham was there. I wish. That would have been good. There was someone else who was famous who was there. Who was it? Oh, nuts. I can't remember. But not Kevin Spacey level of famous. And it wasn't me, obviously. No one came over and talked to me. I did get to bump into Mike Graham again. It's good to see him after, I won't bump into him at talk anymore. Caught up with him. And then I chatted with Dan Wootton. And I did point out that I used to work Dan Wootton adjacent on a show after his. And then I used to work with Mike Graham. I am the kiss of death to careers, aren't I? Like, correlation-wise, I definitely have ended some careers. So Kevin Spacey should be grateful that I never went over there. Then again, I don't think he needed me to help with that one. Don't cry for me, Argentina, said Freddie. I imagine so, and I'm also not a salmon. We've got a lot in common today. I've not prepared any of the things to promote, but they're in my phone.
Here are the plugs where you can see Steve and
Where's my diary gone? You see, I'm trying to keep it away from the camera because I don't want you to see, not my passcode, because I use my thumb, but I don't want you to get a zoom in on my thumbprint, otherwise you could get into this bad boy, couldn't you? I mean, it won't take long to do this by the look of it. Tonight, staying in, looking after the kids. Mrs. is out. Tomorrow, no gig on a Friday. Saturday was meant to be on GB... Oh, no, here we go. Times Radio. It was meant to be on GB News, but they realised I'm also booked in to do Sunday morning, so I got cancelled for it. But I'm on GB News Sunday morning, on breakfast, reviewing the news or doing the politics slot? The news. Oh, that's better. I know more about that than the other one. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, recording a thing at Talk TV that will go out at the end of the week, and GB News at the night to review some newspapers. Have I not got any gigs? Charlotte, on the way into tonight's gig, if there's any way you could scupper the middle act, I'll be there and fill. I can fill. I can do it. While that plays out, don't be mean to Steve. What's Mr. Cuff done that's mean? I will hunt you down. I think Steve's more Tom Allen than Jason Statham. No, I'll take that. I'll take that. So many Times Radio. Yes, doing the Times Radio. Is it a maths thing? Is that what we're aiming for there? Don't be mean to Steve, says Charlotte. I agree. I think you should do the whole show on this cam and use the normal cam as the side cam. Do the whole thing over here because it looks, there's actual stuff behind me. And then, I'd be annoyed about how much I spent on that camera. And yeah. Fair enough. Well, there you go. You're up to date. Wednesday. Oh, yes. Wednesday we will... No. Thursday, we'll do another stream, I think. We get that sorted. Even though I'm getting confused. I've had 2.5 hours sleep. Let's put this to an end. I'm going to go and get a kip which means my workflow's not going to get done. I've made a workflow chart. I'm asking AI about my workflow. Prepare a show, do the live stream, audio to podcast, and then sweet mercy, the amount of other stuff I've got to do. Make chapters, do the edit down, make the clip. Oh. I need staff. So if you'd like to pay for someone to help me, do leave some money at kofi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen. I think we're up to date with all of this. Can we be live and loose? Oh, yeah, tomorrow. I think I can. I'm not double checked my diary. The Rock impression is great. See, what? What, like blood out of a stone thing? Tomorrow, I think I can. Yeah, I can do a live and loose tomorrow at 12. How could it be less prepared than this, though? I think I've set the bar scarily high or low, or whichever way you're measuring it. So we'll see what we can do on that. And night, says Martin. Friday, lol. Yeah, what do you mean laughing about? In fact, I don't have a gig. Is it Thursday? Isn't it? I don't know what day it is. I have no idea. I'm still on yesterday's amount of sleep. I'll fill you in on my comedy night. Okay, we'll do one tomorrow. And we'll see what it's like for people to watch comedy for a change. Right. Thank you very much for watching and all of that. And until next time, bye.
Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Stephen Allen diving in again. Almost daily, but always sharp. He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Stephen Allen, almost daily. Laughs and facts served up plainly. Your dose of wit, it's never shady. Stephen Allen, almost daily.
Grr. Arg.